Hi, folks. This is my man coming to you from parts unknown. Ha ha. Well, boy, what a big night. I appreciate everybody that stuck with me in the live stream last night. It wasn't much of a live stream. I had to torture myself and everybody else. I wanted everybody to see what kind of poison that daggone public broadcasting was. It is awful. It's a disgrace how they operate. But anyway, we'll get into that. Uh, I hope you all are reveling in the big day we had into the wee hours of this morning. I think my delicate eyelids fluttered or closed about 3:15, 3:30, somewhere around there. And yeah, it was quite the night. But the writing was on the wall. People were talking Kamala in the past tense around 10:30, between 10 and 11. It was anybody with a brain pretty much knew it was over with. So that's funny. That's funny. And I got some clips. Next time I do a picture show, I'm not going to revel too much into the psychos cutting their hair off and screaming and yelling. Just a few short clips and things that I think have meaning. Megyn Kelly, I don't know if she said it again or if people are just reposting it. Where last month she said, Epstein client list, and you may be hearing about Epstein in the future from him. So people are talking about that little scenario. What's the scenario, Mario? I might have to get on the stand for my phone. This one's broken. But anyway, hi, Miss Sue Sissy. How you doing? Mary, nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Buy me a coffee. Miss Sue, I know you went to buy me a coffee also. Thank you. So, Anne's here. Benjamin. Yeah, Brenda's still smiling. It is a wonderful day. I had a picture I wanted to put up of Mr. T, but I couldn't get it forwarded far enough into memory to get it to pull up on my thumbnail. So I just put the picture that the Trump team posted on X. So Flannel Cheese, how you doing? Nice to see you all. Let's see. All right. So anyway, I tell you, I go through posts and people are celebrating, and then you have some people are like, well, we still want, heck with unity. We want Gitmo, and we want this, and I do too. But hey, we got to enjoy it a little bit. And I warned about the dangers of living a life of Schadenfreude, where you get joy out of seeing somebody suffering. But the evil part of Schadenfreude is when someone hasn't done anything to you, hasn't done anything wrong, and they get a kick out of it, seeing somebody suffer. But remember that God will mock people when their evil plans come to catastrophe. That's not Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude is like, look at that old man over there dropped his cane and fell on his butt. Ha, ha, ha. That's no good. So, no, I'm not engaging in Schadenfreude by laughing at them, having their fits. Although after so much, I don't want to watch it because it's just, you're watching mentally ill people have breakdowns, or a lot of them are thinking that it makes a damn difference. Since they can go on TikTok and make idiots themselves screaming in the sky, that matters somehow. And And so, no, it doesn't matter to me. Just they're irrelevant, just like the news media, regular news media. They're making themselves more and more irrelevant every time they open their stupid mouths. Hi, Wayne, how you doing? Tony, how are you? Wayne gave me a thumbs up. Mac, how you doing? Pappy Two Bears. Yeah, if you all think about it. Hi, Rebecca. Think about giving me a thumbs up. That'd be great. Ha ha. Debbie said, thank you. I've seen enough of that. Ha ha. Yeah, I know. It's it's annoying. And it's just like a toddler, They sometimes when they have a tantrum, they know it's theatrics, They know it's theatrics. And how many times have you seen a parent say, okay, I'm leaving, goodbye? And they sit there and scream and scream and scream. Mom walks a little farther away and I went, whoa, wait a minute, I better shut up and get up and go catch up with mom. So it's different types of Looney Tune fits they're having. But there's a percentage of them that are generally torturing themselves, especially with really young people. And that I lay at the feet of this so-called news media, irrelevant news media. The only reason they're relevant right now is that they're causing ongoing psychological harm to a fairly significant part of the population. And I think that's going to be addressed. A lot of things are going to be addressed. Trump said that success would bring unity, and I take it a step farther and put justice. I put success, unity, and justice. Because as I've said before, how's that saying go? Mercy to the guilty is cruelty to the innocent. Just look through the chat here. Adam Schiff is a senator for 6 years. But hey, so was Bob Menendez, right? Bob Menendez got caught with however many gold bars and cash, and he's out of there. I was worried about the earlier today. Well, maybe we won't get the House, but it looks like we're going to get the House of Representatives. But when I thought about it, I said, wait a minute, even if we don't get the House, who else has got gold bars? I saw a short video when Kamala went out to do her concession speech of Donna Brazile and Nancy Pelosi. You couldn't really hear what they were saying, but they were having a very animated discussion. Donna Brazile and Nancy Pelosi. Don't forget, Donna Brazile is, air quotes, married to the illustrious mayor of Washington, D.C., a lady named Muriel Bowser. So Trump's going to do what he said he's going to do. He said he's going to have a federal takeover of D.C. And he's couching it in terms of, we're going to clean up the rats, the trash, the garbage, the crime. But we know what it really means. It means it's going to put an end to the special city-state status of Washington, D.C. That's why they're getting away with so much stuff with the J6ers. The only last gasp case they have left is Chutkin in D.C., Magic Kingdom. And we know, it's at least two other special city states. What are London, right? And the Vatican and D.C. And I think I'm missing one. Or maybe I'm not. But that's what he's talking about. He's talking about doing away with that special entity that they've been using for hundreds of years to run their operation out of. You know who I'm talking about. Hi, Island Girl, how you doing? Tony, let's see anybody snuck in here. No, everybody's got all right. So anyway, so PBS, I was going to get clips of them. Well, they say that Pennsylvania has been called for Donald Trump. You know, they're using their radio voice. And if this happens to be true, it just shows that the nation is picking a fascist and a dangerous man who has been convicted of very serious felonies and abusing women. So I know people that have friends and relatives that listen to that garbage every day. It's nothing but pure propaganda. And I'm sure there's something in place to take care of that crap. And I'm sure PBS and the Associated Press are one of the first entities to receive 4 a.m. talking points. So we know what their strategy is going forward. And they're at a loss for something to sink their teeth into. Hi, Tracy, how you doing? Justin, how you doing? Yeah, that's what I thought. It was 3 of them. I thought there might have been one other. Have to do with a royal family. I don't know. Might be. I can't remember. You know, it's not up to me to keep up with their, as Mr. T said, their intricate web. But we know they're out there, and they've got to be tamed. You know what song was stuck in my head after reading Bobby Kennedy's, or I was reading a transcript of his interview where he said he thinks Donald Trump wants an interview. I mean, he wants a revolution, and I believe he's going to get it. I believe he's going to get one. So I was going to start the broadcast saying, you say you want a revolution, well, you know, we all want to change the world. Don't you know it's going to be all right? That's what I wanted to start out with. So, yeah, we're going to have a revolution, and it's just beginning, the beginning of a golden age. If I could have found that photo of Mar Lago with the American flag and the beautiful ocean out past it and a dawning sun, and I was going to put in dawn of a golden age on my thumbnail, and I couldn't get that picture. I hope I didn't erase it by accident. But hi, Joker, how you doing? Well, that's funny. There were those reports, and did you spell them wrong? Good, you spelled it wrong. BALL. It's that people write down. Hey, Justin, how you doing? Marie, hi, nice to see you. Yeah, it's funny. There was that stuff coming in. They even posted the videos. The news was reporting we had what they called a second batch. We got a second batch in, and one of them said the actual numbers of 2 different dumps. And a person that posted the video said, how do they know, does the reporter know how many ballots are in the truck? I think one was 37,000. But it's like I was talking last night. Oh gosh, I was up for probably 5 hours altogether last night, experimenting with mirroring on the phone and things like that. It's without a technical person or without an editor, it's really hard to do alone. But like I was saying, people were going, "Oh my God, the machines are down." I said that word. Nothing like sensorial, shippy. But anyway, oh man, the contraptions are down, and we gotta fill it out on pieces of paper. And that, people were freaking out. I said, wait a minute, don't you know that the contraptions, the machinos, are the problem? Who do you think might have put a bug in that machino so it wouldn't work? So it would get put down on paper. So just like Trump said, it's almost like a fingerprint. Get it? And I think that put the kibosh on what they were trying to do. Wouldn't you agree? What are you going to do when people sign something? They handle it with their fingers. They got the real signature on it. It's not where you go to a touch screen and poke around on a touch screen along with 5,000 or 6,000 other people touching on the same screen. They disabled those machines. Ghosts in the machines. So yeah, I saw that people showing up with boxes and boxes of pieces of paper in the wee hours. No, it wasn't that wee hours, but it was before the race was called. It was after midnight. After midnight. So they were, I forget which state it was. It might have been Michigan. And where were they? Where was the tags on their cars or vehicles? California. So what in the world are cars from California doing showing up in Michigan? You know what? California is just pumping them those pieces of paper out by the tens of millions, because anything goes in California. Anything goes. No ID. Talked about that guy from Sweden voting. He voted for Trump. But, so they got watermark pieces of paper. If it doesn't say what state it's on, you can just load them up and take them wherever you want. Michigan, right? Yeah, we're going to do something about that, Ian, about the ones ignoring the evidence or outright interfering, using twisted logic, handing out horrible sentences like with Tina Peters and the J and then 6 people. So something happened. Mr. T was upbeat, smiling all through the evening at Mar Lago with his guests. Excuse me, I have a sip of my coffee. Oh boy, that's good. And he even took a call from, I showed a video of him last night, and I had no idea that he was on a voice call with Mr. T at Mar Lago, a face call, Bolsonaro's. I'll read you that story when I get to it. So Trump was in a good mood, and everybody, the parrots at the regular news, the officials, I'm using my air quotes, in Pennsylvania, all the liberal voters, oh, it's going to take days to count these ballots. And I did say last night, I said, I believed it would be between 10 and 11 that we've had enough of this crap, and that the white hats were going to go drop the hammer on some people and tell them, you get that done now or you're going to the joint. I was off, let's see, 11, 12, 1, You know, what was it, 120 when they declared Pennsylvania? 119 when Fox declared Pennsylvania for Trump. So I was a couple, 3 hours off. Why did they get on the ball in Pennsylvania to start counting ballots? Because I think they were told. Is Wanda, and she said something about somebody from the DOJ showing up somewhere, Department of Justice, and I'm wondering if that was Philadelphia. Because I don't care what anybody says. Joe Biden wore a Trump hat. Joe Biden carried a Trump hat on the plane. Joe Biden dressed in red when they went to vote. And you know that panda outfit she wore on Halloween? You all saw pictures of it. You know, when you're an adult and you dress up, generally it's with makeup or a light mask. You have a theme. I'm a vampire. I'm a Frankenstein. I'm a mummy, you know, whatever. You don't get in some outfit where you put that bucket size head on. Those outfits are like the Disney workers use, hot, uncomfortable. You sit there and got that thing on your head. It really isn't a Halloween theme. How is a panda like a mummy or Dracula or ghost or anything like that? I think they humiliated her. I think they made her sweat, and they made her do it. Because we all know what pandas symbolize, most of us in the chats. And if you don't, you will soon. Soon things will float to the top. So people were asking on X and libs of TikTok, if you want to see liberal meltdowns, libs of TikTok on X, they, you know, you can scroll through and watch whatever, whatever you want. But I put that menagerie of like 16 of them all in one screen, all screaming at the same time. I don't know how many times I've played that. That's enough for me. Somebody wants to make herself look like Sinead O'Connor. I could care less. You ignore them and they start realizing their irrelevance. And if they don't, it doesn't matter. Why? Because they're irrelevant. Who was that one that played on Married with Children? She played the daughter. She played Kelly, the blonde-haired daughter. I always thought that she retired from Hollywood, so to speak, and raised a family and was fairly normal. I forget her name. But she put on X that she was going to close her X account and everybody unsubscribe from me and get away from me. I can't. You know, she had a fit. And I think it was about 2 years ago, she was diagnosed with MS. Christina Applegate, right? Thank you, sissy. I thought she was fairly normal, and she got out of it kind of like that 70s star that married that rocker. What was her name? Brenda or something. Anyway, they got out of it. They never got in trouble and things. I thought she was like that. But boy, she put out a post. I've been spending the whole morning sobbing and heaving. You know, and then she said, "Oh, I'm not gonna delete my account. Let's just all get through this together." But how they're all losing their mind is just unreal. I call them political bedwetters. There you go, Sandy. You're down with all those people. Valerie Bertinelli. She got out of sitcoms and just raise some kids. And I thought Christina Applegate was kind of on that same train. Wouldn't you say that would have been a notion? Time magazine comes out. The American people have made a perilous choice. So what was it today? Everybody was waiting for it. So I was watching some live streams, and sure enough, when The View came on, everybody tuned into The View, to see them have their fits. Now we know that Whoopi and JUSTlCE lost tens of millions of dollars, but most people don't. So I was thinking, oh boy, this is really going to be good. But I think they put Joy on Valium. They put her on a mild dosage of Valium. I don't know what they do with Whoopi, probably some kind of horse tranquilizer. But they were fairly behaving themselves. And I really think they haven't said anything really crazy because they're medicated. And also they got a dose of medicine from Elon Musk. Remember that? Big lawsuit. I forget the amount, but I was talking about it the other day. More money than they got. Okay. So they're dealing with Elon Musk having them served with this massive lawsuit right after they lose tens of millions of dollars by getting their contracts canceled. They got to come on The View and act like they're superior and they know what they're talking about. And then Trump wins the election when they were thinking it took to the very last minute that he was going to lose. So, oh boy. So, Sonny Houston had to do most of the talking. And she said she was profoundly disturbed about what happened. That brought up the insurrectionism and all the felonies he's been convicted of, how disappointed she is in the American people. They don't care about health care. And Joy Behar says that they won't have any more fluoride. And people are going to get put in internment camps. Oh, it was unreal. I mean, and I'm thinking, should I copy that video and play it on my streams? No. I mean, I got a few clips that give you the gist of it, like Van Jones. Trump brought him up at one of his last rallies about him being a two-faced ingrate. How he came to Trump crying, about people suffering in jail. And he was one of many, Bruce Jenner, not Bruce, I'm sorry, Caitlyn Jenner, married that bunch. Anyway, one of them were pushing it. Van Jones didn't have anything. He was a hanger-on. And he got to sit in the Oval Office and cry. And Trump was like, wow, you're really upset. Calm down. I'll take care of it. Just, don't get so upset. And he said, in about 3 hours, I had it done. I had some hard-headed senators, and I got it done. And I thought, oh, he's going to, mention me. And Melania, come here and watch, Van Jones. And, of course, Van Jones, I talked about it the other night. He just didn't even mention Trump. And I thought it was odd that he brought Van Jones up during one of his final rallies. And I was thinking to myself, how many times has he told us? Not just the people in Washington. He knows them all. The good, the bad, the stupid, the smart. He said, I know them all. So I don't know. I thought it was funny, but Van Jones, I think I got a little clip from him and his teary-eyed crap. So that's not Schadenfreude. You know, I think we have the right to mock people when their evil plans come to catastrophe. Ha ha ha. Let me see. Oh yeah, how could you watch The View, Tony? It's like with PBS. The last time I watched PBS, and some of you have been with me for a long time may know this. It was in 2016. I was listening to it on the radio. Oh, she had cancer on her? I thought she had multiple sclerosis. I think she got both then. But anyway, I was, to a degree, a pretty large degree, incapacitated in 2016. And I, didn't really get into, I just, an old man with a flip phone, you used to go out every day and do things every day. And then I couldn't get around. And I had a radio and I'm listening to PBS during the election. I did get to vote, though. I got down there to vote. And I was listening. And I knew in 2016 that Trump won by 930. Just by adding numbers in my gourd and no TV screen, a radio, a wooden radio. That's what I was trying to tune in the other day. Let me see. Right here. And so I was listening to PBS. Oh, Hillary has a chance. It can mathematically work. If she goes through this state and that state, and and we still have ballots coming in from somewhere. I'm like, what are you all talking about? At 3 o'clock in the morning, she sobered up good enough to call Trump, and Trump comes out and said, these things take time. Remember that, folks? And right up till her calling and conceding, they were still stringing the audience along. And I haven't listened to them since, but I put them on during the live stream last night. And it's torture. It's torture. I'm likening it to sitting and watching The View. I couldn't do that to myself. What do people get out of it? I was talking about calling them blue meanies, just like in the Yellow Submarine. The blue meanies. They have a philosophy of meanness and Schadenfreude. Oh yeah, Island Girl. A lot of actors and musicians. Not Hillary. Nancy Pelosi, when she was talking to Donna Brazile outside of Howard University before Kamala came out and gave her noble speech of fighting the good fight and never giving up. She was pointing at the sky. I'm thinking to myself, if you could do one of those memes where they dub over people's voices what Donna Brazil's saying to Nancy Pelosi, we could take TWA pointing at the sky and go to the Cayman Islands. Yeah, that's what we could do. Get the hell out of here. Because Nancy Pelosi, she might be the first one to go down. As far as being arrested, I'm not kidding you. Now, when that'll take effect, I put a picture of Merrick Garland up last night because part of me thinks he may be a sleeper. He may get activated. And listen, Martha Stewart went to jail. It was over 2 years, wasn't it? Now it was a federal tennis court style prison, but she was maybe not a tennis court, but she went down the road over a 220,000 stock deal that she fibbed. I don't remember. She didn't go through it totally. She still lost money, but she fibbed about her attempt to use inside knowledge. 2 years in a joint. Trump's brought it up multiple times. Her bailing out of Visa the night before the Justice Department does an investigation of Visa. And people say, oh, well, Congress people have exemptions. Well, we're going to get rid of those damn exemptions. But Paul Pelosi, he ain't in Congress. And he's got 100% profit on his investments, unheard of, unmatched. So maybe that they'll be the first ones to go down because Trump brought him up too. He said, boy, wasn't that a weird deal? They gave that guy life in prison. I'm just looking at the chat. Yeah, that's Christina you're talking about, Cola? Yeah, I thought she got out of it, but that doesn't mean, just because she has Trump derangement syndrome doesn't mean she's tangled up in the satanic stuff. But we know a lot of them are. A lot of them. Yeah. Not only that, Island Girl, but that one lithium plant blew up the other day. I don't know if you were in the live stream or I put a picture of it up, but a lithium plant caught fire, blew up. Libs of TikTok put up, if Trump wins, they put this up today. If Trump wins, this is a quote from Elon, that Epstein client list is going to become public. And then they said, nobody in Hollywood is sleeping tonight. That was on an interview with Tucker Carlson. And I tell you, they put up reports of some of these freaks that were running for local office. I put a guy's picture up. He's part of the alphabet crowd. He wants to force parents to bring their kids to drag queen story hours and all this kind of stuff. Hi, MS Motorsports. Well, they put up some reports. This one guy, alphabet activist who wanted to be on Ohio State's Board of Education, lost. Big win for Ohio students. His name was David Donofrio, a alphabet activist. You know, and what they need to do, just about everywhere there's a law that you cannot behave in a lewd and lascivious manner toward a child, period. I don't care if they try to say it's a right, it's a medical condition, I was born this way, what they try to do is against the law. It's against the law to put on that kind of a display and say the things they say and try to inculcate into a child's mind the things they try to inculcate into a child's mind. That's it. End of story. Like Archie Bunker used to say, case closed. But, you know, we'll have to see what Trump's got going on. I'm sure something's going to happen. So one college put out that they canceled classes. I'm going to read a letter from this one professor. Canceled classes because of the trauma. Today, they canceled classes. And one college, let's see here. Which one? They put up, they have Legos, petting zoos, arts and craft, milk and cookies, coloring books, on top of canceling classes, safe processing spaces, And the TikTok said just some of the ways that colleges are helping students deal with the election. Our colleges and universities have turned into adult daycare where entitled immature weaklings are coddled and brainwashed. I say amen to that. And I still say sensitive positions, positions of public trust, people need to turn over the social media, TikTok, X, all that, or allow it to be reviewed. Because some of the stuff, you don't want these nuts around people. This one here says, this TikToker wants to become a hospice nurse so she can abuse elderly Trump supporters. Whoa, where'd that go? It said, when I become a nurse, I can, what in the world? It's too small. But anyway, she talked about all the things she wants to do to get back at Trump supporters in hospice. So she put the videos up there that should disqualify her from any kind of a nursing job, any position of public trust unless you get some psychiatric care. And they show this one woman, they call them attention-seeking meltdown videos from unhinged liberal women. This one girl says she highly recommends finding a quiet place in nature and screaming into the abyss. And then that's what she does. She steps back from the camera and screams her head off and then puts it up on TikTok. Todd, you got a point. I think that a lot of these places like Stanford, Harvard, they need to be sued get the tuition back because they're putting out garbage, teaching people garbage. This one here, unhinged Democrat, said she hopes Trump supporters have complicated pregnancies and bad stuff happens to them. She's sitting in her car doing the TikTok video with a smile on her face saying, I hope your taxes go up. I hope when you have when you get pregnant, you get an infection. I mean, shameful things. Shameful things. Rhode Island school board candidate who went on a rant about wanting kids to have to share bathrooms in the opposite S3X came in last. Up in Warwick, New York, Zachary Cologne. He had 1, 2, 3. He was fourth out of 4. He came in with 410 flipping votes. You know, the thing is that's unnerving. Do you believe that this many people voted for Kamala Harris? Without using any words that get me in trouble. Do you notice anything funny about the results of this most historic day in United States history? I don't want to, stir up the pot, but Joe got 81 million votes, right? Kamala is barely going to break 70 million. Where's that 11 million at? They're saying that Americans were more motivated than any other election in history. They broke all the records for early turnout. So you have this massive motivation. And Trump, I don't know if he's going to get the same amount of votes he got in 2020. So you're looking at like 12 million people, 13, 14 million people. I'm not sure till we see the last counts. Well, we know a lot of things were manufactured. We know a lot of things were switched in computers. But Trump getting less than he got in 2-0 and then 2-0. I don't know. Maybe it'll tie it. Maybe it will tie the situation. But I do know, and somebody would really have to show me something to get me to change my mind, that their methods were shut down, and officials either got paid a visit or got a phone call or both in Pennsylvania and Georgia. Yeah, Pappy, I put that up about the 2020 election with a picture of Einstein. There were way more. But see, what fogs things up is this unknown quantity of people that Biden put on a fast track to citizenship. What also fogs it up is California just having a damn free for all. And they haven't reported everything. So here's a moron, another university moron, a respected professor, okay, at UNC Wilmington. Meet Timothy Black, a physics professor at Wilmington, who talks about the self-control he has to not verbally attack students who support President Trump and call them, quote, fascist morons. This is very alarming that a professor who appears so unstable is teaching students, some of them who are Republican. The university responded to our request for comment, stating they're unaware of the post and support his freedom to publicly write such comments. And he's a nerd looking thing. But Timothy Black, 5 days ago, talking about this morning, I saw a student, not a physics major, sitting in the hallway of our building wearing a red MAGA hat. To my great credit, I did not call her a fascist moron in front of her friends, even though that would have been completely warranted, because I am a grown-up. I don't need to tell every fascist moron that I see that they are a fascist moron. Wouldn't have even thought about it if it was a guy, especially because they are not physics majors, and so I will never have to encounter their fascist stupidity again unless Trump wins and she is part of the group of jackbooted thugs sent to carry me off. Let's give a big shout out for me and my profound discretion and charity. Hooray for me. That's what he put on his post. Hooray for me. I'm a great guy because I didn't confront a female student. Todd says he's about 3 million shy of 2020. Yeah, but they're still counting in Arizona and California. Oh, which kid do you think will run next time? Who put that in there? My chats are jumping around. MS Motorsports. How you doing, bud? In 2020, there were 20 or 30 million more votes than registered voters. Right, Todd? Yeah, I think that's what it was. It's in the 30s, sissy. I'm not sure. Debbie, you put the letter and the number side by side. Debbie, you see what you did? Hi, television shows. Yeah. Oh, the hard work has been going on. It's ongoing. It's been going on for years, over a decade. But they are zeroing in on the final plan. On my thumbnail, I got the Trump family. But who's stuck in there? Who spent the night at Mar Lago? Who's in the family photo? They put up a photo too of Elon with his kids at Mar Lago, and Elon is in the thumbnail with the Trump family photo. Well, go ahead and exit out, Debbie. I appreciate it. Just spelled like JAYSLX. So here's another nut. Amy Chadwick, a professor at Ohio University. Now, these are the people who are molding young minds to be part of our government workforce. She canceled classes today because students are traumatized, angry, scared, hurting, and devastated after Trump's win. Some students are also, quote, unsure how to go on. Boy, you ought to hear this letter. I got a picture of it. What did I do with that letter? Whoa. Oh, man. Oh, here it is. I found it. I thought I didn't get this screenshot of this stupid letter. Yeah, Jay, 5 + 1. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you. But anyway, hi, all. I've decided to cancel class today to give space to those who are devastated by the election results. I have already interacted with the students who are hurting badly, who are scared, who are tired, and who are unsure how to go on. For those of you who are sad, scared, traumatized, angry, etc., please know that you are not alone. There are resources available to help you, and there are pathways forward. Please take time to care for yourself, find small joys, and hold close the people who matter to you. I know not everyone is upset at the results, and I hope we can be gentle with each other today rather than create division. I will be in my office today during class if you want to stop by and talk. All the best, Amy. Yeah, like you didn't create division for the past 8 years and use your position as a professor to influence people to be calling Trump every name in the book. Amy Chadwick. Rotten hell. That's one of my favorite posts that Trump put up. Rot in hell. That was for Christmas, too. So you know he's mad. Meet James Davis, president of a union representing 30,000 faculty and staff at City University of New York. James issued a long left-wing propaganda letter to all members warning that Trump's presidency will be, quote, devastating and dangerous and is a, quote, victory for fascism in the country. He then encourages educators to join him in public protest. These are the people, leading educators. Yeah, I didn't get a copy of his letter. It's insane. The man is insane. Who's this now? Cardiologist and fellow University of Iowa, a fellow at University of Iowa, tells Trump supporter that he hopes his kid gets unalived in a school pew-pew. Would you feel safe with this person as your child's doctor? And they put up a X that he deleted because he knew he was in trouble. Like that one that said men should be lined up in SHOT. He got fired the next day. But anyway, what does it say? Well, I hope you lose your kid in a school pew-pew. I'm not going to read it all. But somebody replied to him and said, you can delete your post if you want to, Mr. Pediatric Doctor, on how you want to see kids unalived in a school shooting. But that ain't going to matter if you delete it. So let them all show their colors. People say sticks and stones. Oh, thank you, Debbie. No problem, Debbie. Thank you. Sticks and stones break my bones, but we don't need that kind of crap in universities or medical profession, anything like that. Oh, yeah, Todd, that's right. The Department of Education. Well, most of those departments is nothing but a bunch of liberal bullshit. EPA especially. Second to Department of Education is EPA. I wouldn't pay for them to go television shows. They're irrelevant. They mean nothing to me. Their tears mean nothing. Their words are gross. What senator was that? Webster? Daniel Webster? I'm not sure. He said one of his colleagues' words were execrable. Execrable. Like, yeah. Anyway. Lives in TikTok. They said I could literally watch these videos all day, and they keep putting them up, and they all got these. Most of them have these nose rings in. I don't know how you don't get an infection for that, doing that to yourself. But some of them are so young, it's so pitiful. Mayorkas, yeah, he's going to get fired. So, and the funny thing about it was Kamala, she got up there talking about basically saying, unlike Donald Trump, I will have a peaceful transfer of power. I will work with Donald Trump. With Joe Biden to facilitate a peaceful, I respect the elections and the American people. So she's going to be the one to certify Trump's electoral votes because they took that away from Mike Pence. If they hadn't done that, if they had left Trump alone and didn't interfere in the last go around, Trump would be finishing up forever right now. He's been on their radar, on their minds constantly, day in, day out. Anyway, now they're going to have to deal with him for another 4 years as president, and a PO'd president with a lot of evidence. If they let him alone and let him just, keep making America great and doing this and doing that and laid low, they have about 50 days and he'd be gone forever. And the vice president would still have the constitutional power to reject electoral votes. But they shot themselves in the foot both ways. Both ways. What did Trump do? And he's not even president. The Houthis put out a big statement. They're the ones in Yemen that are bombing all the ships going in, through the Persian Gulf. And they put out a statement immediately when Trump won. They said we're immediate cessation of all our rocket attacks. All our rocket attacks to this point were purely in self-defense. Okay? And we are ceasing them right now. Because he'll do to the Houthis what he did to ISIS. Obliterate them. And they know it. Obliteration. So Kanakawa the Great put out in 2016, there were no peaceful transitions of power. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and the Democratic Party weaponized the three-letter agencies. We all know who they are. And the legacy media to frame Donald T. Trump and, Donald Trump, J. Trump. Elon Musk said, responded to that and said, given the unequivocal mandate to Donald J. Trump by the American people, winning is not just the Electoral College by a landslide, but also the popular vote, the Senate, and the House. There'll be none of that nonsense this time. So that's encouraging. And remember, while he's putting out these tweets, Elon, he's at Mar Lago. He was at Mar Lago all day today, and they had a big dinner party tonight. Everybody was happy, relaxed, having a good old time. Dan Scavino posted, "What a great time to be alive." Dan Scavino put out a video of Trump getting on Marine One helicopter, and he said, "Coming soon." And there's the Marines there flanking him on either side while he boards Marine One helicopter. Then my plumber Intel sent me a video that somebody put on TikTok of Trump in the front of the White House doing his YMCA dance, but they're playing the Welcome Back Kotter song. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. That was funny. But I play that stuff, I get copyright strikes. So, we're coming up on the 250th anniversary of the United States of America. I remember the bicentennial. I got a bunch of bicentennial stuff here at the house. My parents were collecting it. Mom collected a lot of bicentennial coins and stuff like that. That was in 1976, right? And so here we're coming up to 2026 is the 250-year anniversary of the country. Nick Sortor put out President Trump has announced he would be holding a huge, he should have spelled that with a Y, 250th birthday party for America. This sounds awesome. Trump said it would be called the Great American State Fair, held in Iowa, and it features pavilions from all 50 states. So they're going to go up to Iowa and have this big birthday party and have people representing every state. Sounds like something. If you can go to it, make arrangements. Historical. Yeah, there's a party in Mar Lago, and Alina Habba sitting with Mr. T. Mr. T's wearing a MAGA hat still. And something came out funny. They had a press conference in Old Mexico, and they said that they weren't going to recognize Trump as president they still refuse to consider him the winner until all votes are counted. I don't know what's up with that, but they don't want to play around too much. Hey, during the election last night or yesterday evening, Trump put out I showed you the tweet where he said if people cheat, they go to jail. They will go to jail. And also he called out Philadelphia. Well, he put out two more tweets or truths around 8 o'clock at night. Philadelphia and Detroit, heavy law enforcement is there. So that was at, oh, I'm sorry, that was at 6 o'clock, 5:55 p.m. So law enforcement got to Philadelphia and Detroit, and Trump tweeted out about it. So I think that's when heavy law enforcement, not just law enforcement, he said heavy. So they sent some heavies down. Who could it have been? Yeah, I've got some $2 bills from 1770 or 1976 and some quarters. I had a whole bunch of them. Somebody stole them. They were silver. I guess somebody needed them more than I did, I guess. Especially since my mother collected them. And Mark Cuban come out kissing the ring. He said, congratulations to @real Donald Trump. You won fair and square. Congrats to Elon Musk as well. And he put in at the bottom, he put Godspeed. So he's falling in line. So is that Bezos. I got some posts from him. He hadn't posted but 2 times in 5 months. And both times he posted was very flattering of Donald Trump. So Bezos is coming around. Rob Reiner, Rob Reiner put out a tweet yesterday afternoon. Let's see. Rob Reiner, meathead. Kamala Harris will be the 47th president of the United States. That was yesterday morning. 2.4 million views. Delusional. These people are freaking delusional. So, Morning Joe started up a bunch of crap. But had the nerve. I'll get to him in a minute. Talk about nerve. But I want to point out, we were talking about those totals, how weird it was about those vote totals. Well, Citizens Free Press put out, Trump won Starr County in South Texas, which is 96% Hispanic. He said Latino, I said Hispanic. He won it by 16 points this go round. Everybody knows he's been doing much better with Hispanics. So he won it by 16. But in 2016, he lost the county by 60 points. If anyone knows of a precedent for a 76-point electoral swing over the span of 8 years, I'd love to hear about it. How could Trump lose by 60 points in 16 and win by 16 points? So, yeah, I do not want, nobody wants them on the Republican side, wants them to just put this election to bed. Oh, wow. Um, what's that guy's name? He's supposed to have the 7 keys to the White House. Lickman. I got a video of him right when they called Pennsylvania. He looks like he's been on a long drunk. Alan Lickman with his mystic 7 keys. Yeah, right. Where is that one I had? Morning Joe came out and said, this is Joe Scarborough. Joe Scarborough, who's the most divisive guy, the most insulting and slanderous guy. And as far as news producers, one of the ones who has the most to lose. He had the nerve to say it's time for the Democrats to take a good, long, hard look on how this happened. And if they just say Trump is bad, Democrats virtuous, they're going to keep losing. That's all he's been saying for years. That's all he's been saying today, yesterday, every day. Now he's saying, no, you all better take another look at what you're doing. You're one of the problem. Did you all see Scott Jennings on CNN with Van Jones and the rest of the CNN panel? He's a guy that's got some brains in his head. He said Citizen Free Press said that Scott Jennings came out of nowhere to be awesome. Says he explains to CNN panel what happened last night. Quote, they're not garbage. They're not NAZIs. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day and are trying to make a better life for their kids. And of course, you got people like Van Jones sitting there with his mouth hanging open after he finished saying the disgusting things he was saying. Van Jones. You know, we used to have a saying for somebody like him. Pompous snoot like that, that they need their rear ends kicked is what they need. Their parents never got a hold of their ear and cracked them on the backside. Have you all heard anything about the final word on control of the House? I'm looking at a map. Hi, Stanton. Thank you. Lori, how you doing? Oh, there's a bunch of people protesting in Chicago. Well, let them protest. They say there's 210 Republicans locked in for the control of the House and 193 Democrats, but I haven't had a chance to get any updates. But I'm pretty confident we're going to keep the House. Elon's confident of it, and that's all right with me if he's confident. Here's Jeff Bezos. Big congratulations to our 45th and now 47th president on an extraordinary political comeback and decisive victory. No nation has bigger opportunities. Wishing real Donald Trump all the success in leading and uniting America we all love. Thank you, Jeff Bezos. He's walking the chalk. And before that, he hadn't posted. It was when they tried to pew pew Mr. T, President T. Our former president showed tremendous grace and courage under literal fire tonight. So thankful for his safety and so sad for the victims and their families. Well, that was a nice post. But that was the only 2 times he posted on X in almost half a year. Almost half a year. You want to hear something funny? Colorado Peak Politics put out an article. Get a load of this. Law passed by Colorado Democrats gives all our votes to Trump for winning popular vote. That was written today. So it says some 1.4 million voters are feeling mighty smug about their victory over Donald Trump in Colorado, where he lost with only 43% of the vote. And yet Democrats passed a law in 2019 signed by Governor Polis that pledges every vote cast in the state to Trump because he won the national popular vote. Do you remember that, folks? Remember when they passed these amendments saying all the electors have to go with whoever won the popular vote? But, you know, it'll never get enforced. It's unconstitutional. But it shows you how the crap they try to pull blows up right in their stupid faces. But I remember them passing that law. Yeah, there's a chick shaving her head. It wasn't much of an improvement. There's Kamala and, not Kamala, but Nancy Pelosi and Donna Brazil. I'll have to get that video. It's just a short video. They're actually RIOTing. Well, it's kind of late. Of course, they stay in the fart sack till the crack of lunch, so they can ride all night and loot. Remember I showed that video from Trump's first inauguration? They burned Larry King's car up, his limousine. But I'm with Clandestine. He puts it out a little more eloquent the way than I could say it. He put out, today marks the day that the mainstream media DIED'd. They just spent the last 8 years calling Trump and his supporters Nazis and racists. The American people just confirmed that they don't believe these lies. The MSM is DEAD. They've lost control. How can anyone take them literal about what they called Donald Trump and his supporters? And they lost so stunningly last night. They are not credible. The deep state's clock is ticking. So another post he put up that I agree with, but I'm really like Elon. Let it sink in, you know. What a long struggle. I mean, who would do that? Who would do that for anybody? Put their life on the line, spend all their time, put themselves in danger, put their families in danger, go through the hours, grueling hours of rallies and speeches and meetings, strategizing. And imagine the level of trust you would have to have in the people backing you up. You would have to have absolute trust. But even with absolute trust, that level of effort sustained for years, that he is a singular man. I've said that before. But Clandestine put out, yeah, I'm happy, but I'm also angry. I'm angry we had to even go through this. I'm angry that our ruling class were so corrupt that it got to this point. Yeah, I'm popping bottles and chugging liberal tears by the gallon, but I want justice. I want the reckoning. I want it too. I want justice and I want the reckoning too. But we got to take time to decompress and let it sink in what a spectacular victory this is. And really look out with wonder at all the possibilities that can happen. We've discussed the end of taxation. We've discussed justice for little ones, monumental things that are going to happen. But we also have to remember that it's over 70 days, almost 2.5 months before Trump takes office. All the things that are brewing. I heard that they're planning on sending $8 billion over to Ukraine before Trump takes office. Kind of like when Hussein Obama sent all that cash and gold to Iran without even going through Congress, that the Biden administration is going to do that. It's hard to say what they've got up their sleeve. But the number one priority is going to be self-preservation. Second is controlling the world. But the number one is their own backsides. So we're still in dangerous waters, and we can't let our guard down. We can't let our guard down. Joe could resign. Kamala could become president. There could be some brouhaha or problem with Kamala actually being president. You may have a situation where Mike Johnson is acting president as Speaker of the House. He could nominate Trump to be his VP, or Trump could become Speaker of the House for a day, and Mike Johnson could say, hey, I want to spend time with my family. And then Trump step up. Who knows? I mean, there's many different ways this ball can bounce. That's why I'm saying people that are score high in game theory get promoted and get put in some pretty serious positions, because I guess you could say life's a game, right? So there's a lot of stuff that can happen, but what would the deep state do? What kind of moves can they make? Never mind the moves we can make. First move looks like they're thinking about making is stealing while they can. Hi, KNS Cleanup, how you doing? That's usually the first thing that comes to their mind, to steal. So they want that $8 billion. Who knows what else they want to rack up and stack up and put away for themselves before they clear out of the house. Yeah, Kamala conceding, saying she's going to be help with a peaceful transition back. I don't trust her as far as I could pick her up in Willie Brown and throw them. Both of them. I don't trust her. But the disadvantage is she can't mess with the electoral votes. They took that power away from her the same time they took it away from Pence. So I don't know what their options are. Part of being good at game theory is knowing the rules of the game, knowing the available moves and rules. You know, so there's some constitutional issues, timing issues, things of that nature. But I do know in the Constitution it said it has a provision. If things really go cuckoo and the states can't get it together enough to elect a president, that one will be put in. I believe they would have a special session of Congress and have somebody put in by March. I think it's 23rd. I'm going on rusty memory. I don't know. So there's all kinds of possibilities. And don't think for a minute that Hillary's totally out of the picture. Her and creepy Bill. So Dan Scavino having truth parties, Twitter parties. He put out, so how that racista, fascista, Adolf threat to democracy BS play out for you Dems? The American people are so much smarter than you and the mainstream media give them credit for. Wake up. He's rubbing it in their face. I got some reports from overseas. I can get into them tomorrow. Of what the Europeans think about all this. Macron, he came out babbling that France can't be left to row their own boat. How did he put it? Macron called on EU countries to agree on joint steps after Trump's victory in order to prevent the principle of every man for himself. He said they're going to work to make the EU more united, more stronger, blah, blah, blah. In other words, saying everybody's going to start freaking out and going every man for themselves in Europe. Well, now that Trump's in office or going to be in office. Well, got news for you. The smart ones, like Erdogan, has come kiss Trump's ring. A lot of them already knew writing was on the wall. Mike Lee, based Mike Lee, he put out a couple of tweets. Now, isn't he the one? He's a congressman, Republican congressman. He put out a truth a while back that said he was going to be Trump's attorney general, if I remember correctly. He put out a couple of tweets. We must dismantle Washington as we know it. And Elon Musk responded, yes. And then he put out, which federal agency do you want to see dismantled first? I don't know. I didn't read all the replies. I mean, plenty of replies about who wants to see what go first. Did you ever buy Bosch spark plugs? MS Motorsports, I bet you have. Hi, Canis. I hope y'all are doing well. Happy USA Day. Yeah. He has answered our prayers for sure. Bosch spark plugs. Bosch makes a lot of stuff. That's a German company, BOSH. Announced the dismissal of 7,000 employees at once. A German business. Never before had German industry developed as successfully as under Scholz. But anyway, they're doing very bad. And firing 7,000 people ain't good. New York Times, this is the kind of crap they put out. On the front page, color, Trump storms back. Stunning return to power after dark and defiant campaign. Dark and defiant. I thought it was rather upbeat. I thought it was rather unifying. I saw that, Cola. Nuevo Ordo Secorum. What does that mean? Because Elon put that above one of his tweets. I wonder if I got that to my student. I was going to ask the chats to goggle that. Here's where Bobby Kennedy said, I spent 2 days with Trump recently, and he was saying that there were he was saying things that were kind of shocking to me. The level of change he wants to make in our government, I think, is going to be unprecedented. He wants a revolution, and I think he's going to get one. So the level of change Trump wants to make shocks him. Yeah, we want to shock people. You know, I think it's great. RFK is on board, but I've been watching the Kennedy family for years, and I hope he's tempered himself. But every time I've read about him in the paper or heard things he had to say, I mean, we're talking 20 years, 30 years. Okay. He seems to me like a person, once he gets his mind made up, you play hell getting him see the real story. I mean, God forbid somebody gets to him first with a big bag of crap, because it's like pulling teeth getting him to see a different way. He's stubborn, but I think his stubbornness has been softened by Trump. You know, he was all in for this Venezuelan takeover by socialists. The American company Cargill had all the land, equipment, bank accounts seized when Venezuela went socialist, and he was saying it was a good thing. So hopefully he's got his brain straightened out a little bit about stuff like that, and especially losing his father and his uncle the way he did with the assassinations. You would think he would instinctually not trust government, but maybe his lights have been cut on. I don't know. Somebody says that there has been a leak by Italy, has leaked a global crime syndicate. A global crime syndicate. And what do? They RIG elections. So we got to wait and see what we hear about that. Italy exposes. I'm trying to see what that. Well, let me tell you about Bolsonaro's telephone call with Donald Trump at Mar Lago today. President Bolsonaro spoke on the phone with Trump. He complained about being unable to come to the election party ceremony because the courts seized his passport, and they're not letting him. He's put forth appeals to get his passport back, and they're rejecting his appeals. But Trump said they would be together soon, and extended a formal invitation for Bolsonaro to come to the inauguration in the United States. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on whoever's making the decision about giving Bolsonaro his passport back. When the big daddy from Cincinnati says, I want him at my inauguration, and you're going to be dealing with him in a matter of hours, yeah, they're giving him his passport. Trump's a boss. That's part of the reason he makes sure he says multiple times to Bobby Kennedy, don't touch our liquid gold. I am in charge of that. And he's also publicly said what Elon's parameters will be, and that he's the final say. I mean, you're the boss, you got to stay the boss. I'm trying to find that quote that we're talking about, that Latin that Elon put out. I don't know what it means. I wonder if I got a screenshot of that. I think it's something you could Google, but I don't know that I got a screenshot of it. I might have read a tweet and didn't see it at the top. Sissy said it means new order of the ages, the motto on our currency. The currency is going to be redone. Oh, did you catch that on Kamala's concession speech today? What did you all catch? I meant to start off with that. To me, it's a big deal. Think about it. Kamala I had to take a sip of my coffee. I think it went down the wrong pipe. I was too quick about it. Let me get the cough button for a second. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to drink that coffee too fast. Anyway, what did Kamala reference? That is eerily similar to a bad person that gave a speech. She talked about being in darkness, right? Did you all catch that? What did she say about being in darkness? See if anybody gets it. I'll keep looking through my here's that article on the Houthis. The Houthis declare immediate ceasefire after President Trump wins. They're in shock after the grand victory of Donald Trump. Biden and Kamala have failed to stop terrorism. But Trump, all he's got to do is win an election. He stopped the big super plant in Mexico just by dropping a dime. He stopped the Houthi attacks by winning the election. He did something else. The stock market went up 500 points when he won. That's three things. And then the dollar shot up against the euro. Dollar got stronger. And Trump is partying at Mar Lago, having dinner at Mar Lago. And all these things are happening just by the power of his affect. Nobody saw similarity? Well, maybe I'm crazy. She said, when it gets dark, you have to be in darkness to see the stars. And everybody in the crowd goes, oh, that's so beautiful. And she goes, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we're going to be a billion stars. What is that an allegory for? The 1,000 Points of Light speech by George H.W. Bush, the first time an American president uttered the words to the public, New World Order. He said it, I'll never forget it. made my antennas go up. He was talking about 1,000 points of light, and he took his fingers and pinched them together, and looking off in the distance, it'll be like 1,000 points of light. And now you got Kamala talking about being in darkness and seeing the stars. We're all going to be like those stars in the darkness. I guess there's 1 billion points of light, right, Kamala? That's some kind of ritual reference or goal, I am sure. Goodbye, Houthis. Let me get that out of my studio. Yeah. The dollar shot up against the euro. I got that chart off of Christian Prince. Viktor Orban, he's happy Trump won and giving his congratulations. He's a big player over there in the Ukraine-Krizzle conflict. Did I tell you all that was reported now? It's 10,000 North Koreans over there screwing around with this Ukraine conflict. And how they're doing it is they're mercenaries. Just like we got U.S. mercenaries over every country. France, we found their blown up remains with their passports from France, the Congo, Colombia, the U.S., Canada. Well, North Korea says, hey, I'll send you 10,000. We don't need 9,000 a month. Remember I said that was the pay that was reported 2 years ago? He's getting probably 5,000 a month and giving his soldiers 2, or his soldiers' family 2,000. And North Koreans the government keeps the difference. Which is what war is anyway. Read Smedley Butler's book, War is a Racket. They're just not having any middlemen. Putin, you pay us 5,000 a month per soldier. Okay. And then we'll give the soldier 2 and we'll keep 3. But they're mercenaries. It's not supposed to be from the state army. They're supposed to be private mercenaries. One guy in Poly Market plunked down yesterday a bet that Donald Trump would win. Guess how much he bet? He bet $18 million. $18 million on Trump winning the election. If he wins, he gets $30 million. But of course, if he loses $18 million. Well, there's one happy person who made themselves $12 million. I wonder who that was. I wonder if it was Elon. If it was 17 million bet, I would say Elon did it. Well, Barack Obama put out a tweet. He put out a tweet yesterday. He's irrelevant. I was going to put a picture of Barack Obama with a sourpuss face on, mean looking face. Nothing but that picture. And I was going to type above it, the jerk. Remember when Trump said he was a jerk? But I decided to put Trump's family up because I'm saying we got to enjoy this moment. We got to be happy. We don't want to spend the first moments of this relief worrying about arresting people, getting people back, doing this, firing people, doing the. No, we'll get to that. Believe me, we're going to get to that. Right now, enjoy it. So I didn't put a picture of the jerk up. But here is his tweet from 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Barack Obama, he's got a blue check mark. It took several days to count every ballot in 2020, and it's very likely we won't know the outcome tonight either. So please keep a few things in mind as you make your voice heard today. Thousands of election workers around the country are working hard today. Respect them. Thank them. Don't share things before checking your sources. Let the process run its course. It takes time to count every ballot. Well, Barack, I guarantee you were up sweating bullets last night with Mike Shell. You know, I didn't want to say anything about this, but I did expect a bigger sweep, and I expected the results earlier. But I am extremely happy, and I believe that they still had been moving a massive number of you-know-whats. That's why the numbers are all screwed up. And I think that Space Force and military intelligence had it under control. That's what I believe. So I'm not going to be negative Nelly about it, and I'm going to be happy. We're going to get to the retribution part, and it's got to be done in a way that people know it's being done fairly and not arbitrarily. So anyway, well, folks, I've gone an hour, 45 minutes, 6 minutes. Gee, many crickets. That's the same way with me, Cola. That's the same way with me. We'll never trust them again. But I tell you, this is all just so perfect in the way it's been done with what they had to work with. Brett Baer was the one who announced Pennsylvania. That was payback. That was payback for when they announced Arizona back in 2020. They used Brett Baer. And I don't know how long after that he was talking to the guy that was in charge of the Fox News decision desk, and you could tell he was not happy. He was about as angry as a Brett Baer can get. And he said, why did you do that? Why did you call it so early? And the guy said, well, that's the numbers that we had, blah, blah, blah. And you could tell Brett Baer wasn't buying it. And about 3 weeks ago, it might have been a month. No, longer than that. It was just before the attempt on Trump. The creep that's going before Judge Cannon. It was about a week before that. Brett Baer was playing golf with Trump. Okay. So Brett Baer got used in 2020, and he got his chance to make it right. So the joy is gone. Yep. All right, folks. Well, hey, I tell you, I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me here this evening, as we say out in the country. How y'all doing here this evening? Do you ever hear friends talk like that? But anyway, let me see. I want to thank, my screen went blank. I hope I didn't lose you guys. All right. I want to thank y'all for spending your precious time with me. And what is tomorrow? I don't believe I'm going live tomorrow. No, I go live tomorrow, but not Thursday. Okay. So, hey, if you remember, give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I go live. And there's Miss Minnesue. All right. You all have a great night. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man over and out.